Welcome to Esoterica, the podcast, where we discuss the obscure, offbeat, and unusual. I'm Chris Schultz.
And I'm Aaron Christian.
Today's episode is brought to us by Fruity Oaty Bars by Blue Sun. Fruity Oaty Bars make a man out of a mouse. Fruity Oaty Bars make you burst out of your blouse. Next time you're hungry, grab yourself a Fruity Oaty Bar. So, what album are we listening to today?
So today, it's actually technically an EP, but whatever, who cares? We are listening to Dempsey by the band Dead Poets Society. So a little bit about Dead Poets Society, and I found this beautiful little description of Dead Poets Society from samsontech.com. They talk a little bit about who they are. So Dead Poets Society is an edgy groove rock band based out of Boston, Massachusetts. The band's four members, Jack Undercloffler, Jack Collins, Nick Taylor, and Will Goodroad, met and formed Dead Poets Society while attending the Berklee College of Music and Wentworth Institute of Technology in Boston. Now all graduates, DPS as they're also called, has produced 3 EPs, filmed 3 music videos, licensed their music to over 14 television shows and commercials, including the X Games and Keeping Up with the Kardashians, and toured all over the United States and Mexico. Along with the rest of their catalog, DPS's latest EP, Dempsey, is now available on iTunes. So after you listen to it, it's on Spotify and all that other stuff. And currently, I believe tomorrow, as of the day of this recording, but not the day that this comes out, so this will have been 2 weeks ago or so, they are putting out a new single. And I can't remember the name of it, which I'll mention at some point. But definitely keep them on your radar. So, Dead Poets Society, we're listening to Dempsey today.
Nice, I'm looking forward to this. When you said that they had licensed their music to a bunch of things, I was like, great, maybe I've heard of it, but never watched the X Games and have never seen a single episode of the Kardashians.
Yeah, maybe commercials and stuff. So, well, we don't know. So, let's dive right into this. The first track on this EP is called Dempsey. So.
Make my tongue real and whisper. Wait in line, I'm running red. Too long time feeling lost. Got caught and left a bitter taste.
Psychedelic rock.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and it only gets, like, deeper the rest of the album. Like, I think this is probably the rockiest, like, pure rockiest thing on the record.
So Dempsey, you're killing me. I'm thinking it's at least a reference to Jack Dempsey.
Yeah, so I may have incorrectly said no last episode, but actually I never actually looked at the lyrics to this, so I think yeah, for sure. And because I forgot who Jack Dempsey was for like solid 30 seconds.
From Brockton, or am I thinking of another boxer?
You're thinking of Rocky Marciano.
Rocky Marciano's from Brockton. City of Champions.
He is. You know, my great-grandfather used to box with him, right?
I did not know that.
Yeah, yeah. Wow. He quit boxing because he thought it was going to be stupid, and that Rocky Marciano would never make it. My great-grandfather was an idiot.
Who knew?
I know, right?
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I like that.
So this is, I think, an album you're going to enjoy because it like brings in a lot of these really weird sounds that you tend to like. We actually listened to one of these songs the other day, but we didn't review it. We just listened to it yesterday. So you might remember this.
Oh, we did, didn't we?
We did. So this one's on here. But this is the whole album in a row now. So
what were we doing yesterday? Oh, yes. We were working on something special.
We were working on something special.
Well, I don't know if it was something special. But...
So the next track on this EP is called Natalia.
I'm thinking you should let me throw your body down, put my hands in your waist. You wanna taste, so I don't know how to act, half naked and eyes are rolling back, taking my time so high.
It's interesting, you know. I know a lot of times when we're discussing songs, we'll compare the artist to another one. Not that we're implying that they're ripping them off, but just as a as a basis.
Yeah, some people know some artists and not the other, and it's always good to.
Yeah, because our audience is only getting like 20 seconds snippet where we're actually listening to the whole album. Off the top of my head, I can't.
No, you can't.
No,
it's hard to do that here.
Reminds me of a number of different things, but nothing that I'm comfortable saying. Yeah, this sounds like.
Yeah, I think there's definitely. Anybody asked me to describe this, I can't. There's definitely like this really blues heavy element to it that kind of gets like not lost, but like tossed into the mix of like this progressive sound. Like there's some like even hip hop kind of things you have going on in here, sound effects wise. We're gonna get to a track in about a track or two that's got like he just mutes the strings and just like lets them just dead strum, and it's just interesting some of the production value of what they're doing coming out in this way. So yeah, no, you can't put your finger on it.
Yeah. And the lyrics, I'm not gonna say that they're dense, but it's not 100% clear what he's thinking about either. It's interesting.
Yeah, and it's like catchy in a way where it's like there's no specific line that like gets stuck in your head, but like you want to sing along and have fun because it's a fun track.
Yep.
And that's the catchy part of it, I think.
I get that.
So the one of the tracks that we're about to listen to also is their number one track on Spotify. Like people listen to that track the most. But we'll get there when we get there. The next track is called Preacher.
Preacher. Okay, before we go any further, I want to take a minute to talk about the awesome folks at Anchor. If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way. In fact, it's the way that we make a podcast. Let me explain.
It's free.
There are creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer.
Anchor will distribute your podcast for you, so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more.
And you can make money from your podcast. Best part, no minimum listenership.
Ooh. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place.
It's so cool. We found the service. We started using it. We're making podcasts.
Yeah, making podcasts, making money, having a good time.
So listen, you want to get you out there. You want to be heard. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started.
Thank you.
You know what? So they do remind me of somebody. Have you ever listened to Mother Mother?
No, but I've heard of Mother Mother a lot because of you.
Yeah. My firstborn's a big fan.
Yeah, okay.
Of Mother Mother. And yeah, that remind. Yeah. I thought I was going somewhere with that, and it died in my brain. But
they remind me also of this band Highly Suspect, which is also from Cape Cod, in a way, which I didn't think of till I was listening to this song. Oh yeah, they kind of do. It's what did Spotify? So they categorize them in a playlist automatically, and I think that was called like. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick here. There was a name for the playlist that like this kind of genre, and it fit the description so well.
I see Genius is just calling them indie rock.
Laid back and heavy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you know what? There was one of the tracks that I thought I tasted a little Tool in there, but I didn't want to say that because, I mean, Tool is dark and heavy, and Tool is really their own genre.
So what I think makes this
heavy,
I think it works out well. I think what makes it heavy is they use a 7-string guitar. So they can be distorted, but they also have this like mid-range baritone sound between a 6-string guitar and a bass that they can reach some of those notes, and it gives us this really dark, heavy element to it. But it's also like they have this like bluesy sound that makes it feel laid back. I don't know.
Yeah.
So laid back and heavy, I think, is a really good description.
Like dead on. I like it.
So our next track is the one that we listened to yesterday. So we'll listen to it again because this is actually their most popular song of all time. They're in and of themselves esoteric, but of the music they put out, this is their most popular one. It's called Low Air.
It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful.
So that was a darker song.
But I think that Laid Back and Heavy describes that song in particular very well.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't understand this line, but I like it. And that's, she wants me dead at night, and I'll give like a ground in a sieve.
Yeah, I was going to say, I really like that line, and
I
I'll
do.
give like ground in a sieve. So I'm guessing my interpretation is like giving in, crumbling. Like if you've ever used a sieve to screen loam and get all the weeds and stuff out, and stuff sort of crumbles.
When I'm thinking sieve, I think of like a colander for some reason. So I was thinking of spaghetti. I'm like, why would you put like dirt in a spaghetti?
Yeah.
But I think that analogy makes it make a little more
He's
sense.
given in. Because it seems to be like, this is a typical blues motif. He's got a woman who's treating him wrong, and
Yeah. Well, so, and I think this is where Genius does this wrong a little bit, is they're saying low air is a beautiful thing. I think it's love. Love is a beautiful thing is the actual line, which I think would make more sense.
yeah.
Because I don't know what low air is supposed to be.
I mean, unless we're getting into some strange bedroom play. I mean, there's people that are into suffocation and.
Yeah, I highly doubt that's what this is about.
If we just want to go dark.
But, could be anything. I almost enjoy that we can't break it down.
Yeah.
And that nobody else has, because the song you should be able to interpret whatever way you want.
Yes.
And there shouldn't just be one interpretation of something, unless it's explicitly meant to be this way. And, you can take this, and if there's something in your life that applies to it, go for it, right?
I do think it's kind of interesting that the one song so far that definitely seems to be like your typical dysfunctional love song, which is what a lot of love songs are. I mean, the more you think about it, they're not healthy relationships that people are singing about.
Yeah.
Babe ain't got no soul, dazed and confused, backdoor man. So it's like a shout out to some well-established blues songs.
Yeah.
It's kinda cool.
Given those callbacks and be like, yeah, we know our shit.
Yeah.
So our next track is Van Gogh.
Ooh, feels like summer. No, not now. Years go by hour. My God, sit down. Yellow walls and blue sounds. Gotta get up, gotta get out.
Interesting song about colors.
I like the metaphor. Van Gogh needs some color. She holds lights above her.
Yeah.
No sleep, red eyes. Taking like a red eye flight. Yeah.
Dirty
I-
hands along there.
some cool things in here. It's got a nice vibe to it. Can't think of one offhand that I'd like to call it, but it's got this like poppy kind of jumpy thing going on, which I think is cool.
Gotta get up. Gotta get out of here.
So our final track on this album, and I know, right? We're only like 10 minutes worth of recording in. It's crazy. It's called Animation. And a lot of people on the Bandcamp page for this said that Animation is their favorite song. And I would argue that this is probably the underrated track on this album.
Okay.
Or this EP, I should say. So we will dive right into Animation.
I enjoyed that song.
I just love this band. I love them so much that, you know what, given this album is so short, why don't we listen to just one more song? It was a single they put out. Doesn't belong to any record. Just tack it on the end. What do you think?
No.
No?
Yeah, no. Yeah, definitely.
No? All right, we won't do it.
Yes, we will.
All right, cool. So we'll listen to one more. So Animation is, let's talk about this first. I really enjoy that song a lot because it has a lot of different layers to it. And it reminds me of the song Mama by My Chemical Romance because it starts with that minor chord in the beginning, same way that song does, and it kind of builds into something bigger. But this has so many different layers to it.
And he's doing some wacky stuff with the guitar.
Oh, yeah.
There, going into the choruses. It's interesting. It's the same with, I have a real love for people with strange voices, damaged voices.
Yeah.
And when people do things with their instruments that they probably shouldn't be doing, I dig it.
Yeah, and this is why I really wanted to show you this, because I think you would dig it. and dig these guys. So let's listen to one more song, just because we've only had 6 tracks and we've only been recording for 12 minutes worth of our voices.
Good Lord.
And I like to hear myself talk. So we're going to listen to one more track. It's a single, and it's called Coda.
Talk shit, babe, say it like you wanna leave. You love me like cocaine, girl. Don't like getting right, need me every night. You love me like cocaine. I heard your friends say that you think you're better off.
So that was Coda, and that was Dempsey. That was Dead Poet Society.
I enjoyed. Definitely a distinct sound of their own. That's
For sure. So, little sneak peek for looking ahead. They have another record. It's actually a full album called Axiom, I believe. I've reached out to their manager to see about having them come on and talk to us about that record. So if you enjoyed this, check out that album, and maybe in the future we'll be having some members of the Poet Society joining us. And, if we get to that episode and they don't join us, we're still going to enjoy the album. So,
yeah. That's one thing that we've been trying to do this season. We had a lot of fun with Stephen Clare going through his album. We had done it previous to that, other than Nervous. I think we only did it on our live streams.
yeah, and with Jake Morse, we did it.
Oh, with Jake Morse, we did do it, yes.
So, a handful of times we've done it, and I think it's one thing to talk to a celebrity about their favorite album, but it's another thing to talk to the artist about an album that we're reviewing. And especially in, a case like this, like a Dead Poet Society is probably my favorite band. So if we got them on to talk about it, I think that'd be really amazing.
That would be super
and
cool.
maybe answer a few questions we have about this one with a ground and a sieve, and maybe who Natalia is.
Yeah.
A lot of interesting aspects. And, if you like what you heard, keep an eye out. Maybe in like 6 weeks or so, you might be looking at a new episode with Dead Poet Society joining us. Who knows?
Nice. Cool. And hopefully we'll continue that trend. We have some calls out, so see what shakes out.
So next week, we are going to be listening to Parachutes by Frank Iero and the Patients. Previously, at the end of August, we listened to Frank Iero's record Barriers, so we're revisiting him. Reason being, it's a different sound. The band changes every single time he puts out a new record, new band name, new members. Mm-hmm. So this is different than the record before. It's still got the essence of the same thing. And the cover is a ghost, so it's Halloween theme.
Nice. Yeah, it was Future Violence before, right? And now it's...
So it was originally The Celebration, then it was then it was The Patients, and now it's The Future Violence. But in the album that we're going to listen to, it is The Patients, yeah.
Cool.
Can't keep track of all the names.
There's a lot of them. All right.
So check out esotericathepodcast.com for any more updates, episodes, merchandise, t-shirts and such, and all the fun stuff that surrounds Esoterica, the podcast.
Keep an eye on our YouTube channel, and if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe.
Please do.
We're going to make an attempt to get out and get some short video content out there. That's on our agenda coming up. So.
Yep, especially with spooky season.
Yeah. Because, Aaron and I hate trick-or-treating and Halloween.
We're awful. We're the worst.
Yeah. If anybody's listening from Abington... we actually love Halloween. I'm a big fan of trick-or-treating.
It's not the hill we're going to die on, bud.
No. And just to be on the record here, I firmly believe that the ritual of trick-or-treating and observing Halloween is the only thing that prevents the Hellmouth from reopening and demons and ghosts being unleashed. So if we don't observe Halloween, literal hell on earth.
Okay.
All right. So
let that sink in. Well, thank you for joining us this week, and until next time,
stay esoteric.